What if I told you that dying with money in the bank isn't a badge of honor? It's a financial and emotional failure. Welcome to Right Mindset. Most of us spend our entire lives playing it safe. We work 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week, diligently stashing away cash, postponing our dreams, and telling ourselves, I'll do that when I retire. But what if retirement is a trap? What if the ultimate tragedy isn't running out of money before you die, but dying with a pile of unspent cash that you traded your finite time, energy, and youth to accumulate? Today, we are diving into a radical, paradigm-shifting book that challenges everything you've ever been taught about money and security. Die with Zero: Getting All You Can from Your Money and Your Life by Bill Perkins. Perkins isn't telling you to be reckless or irresponsible. Instead, he presents a mathematical and philosophical awakening. Your life isn't just about accumulating wealth, it's about accumulating life experiences. If you leave this world with millions of dollars unspent, it means you gave away your precious life energy for numbers on a screen, energy you can never, ever get back. By the end of this video, you'll look at your bank account, your calendar, and your future completely differently. Let's dive into how you can start maximizing your life before it's too late.
To understand the philosophy of Die with Zero, we first have to redefine what money actually is. Society treats money as a status symbol or a scorecard. We hoard it because the sheer balance in our savings account gives us a false sense of security. But Perkins offers a much starker, truer definition. Money is nothing more than a voucher for experiences. Think about it. Can you eat dollar bills? Can you wear a spreadsheet of your net worth to keep you warm? No. Money only has value when you exchange it for something that brings you joy, fulfillment, or memorable experiences. Stashing money away indefinitely, without ever using it to live, is like buying a ticket to a world-class concert, staying outside the venue, and just admiring the paper ticket in your hand until the show is completely over. It's absurd. Yet that is precisely what millions of people do. They trade their youth, when they have the health, energy, and physical capability to climb mountains, travel the globe, and stay up all night exploring, for a larger safety net in old age. But here is the brutal paradox of life. When you are 25, you have the time and energy, but no money. When you are 65, you might finally have the money, but your energy, health, and vitality have severely declined. Perkins argues that you need to optimize your net worth across your entire life timeline, not just at the end. If you die with a massive surplus, it means you oversaved and underlived. You worked too much for money you never actually enjoyed. Transitioning your mindset from accumulation to optimization is the first vital step toward true freedom, which leads us directly to the concept of the fulfillment curve.
How much is enough? That is the eternal question of personal finance. Most people assume that more money always equals more happiness. But Perkins introduces a crucial economic and psychological concept, the fulfillment curve. Up to a certain point, money drastically increases your happiness. It covers your basic survival needs, food, shelter, safety, and relieves the crushing anxiety of debt. But past that threshold, the law of diminishing marginal returns kicks in. The $50,000 you save brings you infinitely less joy than the first $5,000. Eventually, your happiness flatlines, no matter how many millions you add to your portfolio. Perkins points out that your life is built on three fundamental pillars: health, money, and free time. When you are young, you have health and time, but zero money. In midlife, you might gain money, but your time is swallowed by career demands, and your health begins to face minor constraints. In old age, you may have money and time, but your health often restricts what you can physically do. Notice how these three pillars rarely peak at the same exact time. Because of this natural imbalance, waiting until retirement to enjoy your wealth is a losing strategy. If you wait until you are 70 to travel to Machu Picchu or hike through Europe, your physical body might simply say no. To truly optimize your life, you have to trade money for experiences at the right age, This brings us to a revolutionary tool that Perkins suggests we all use, treating our life not as an endless accumulation marathon, but as a finite timeline with distinct seasons. And that requires mastering the art of timing your experiences before your biological clock runs out.
One of the most profound ideas in Die with Zero is the concept of memory dividends. When you spend money on a fantastic experience, say a backpacking trip across Southeast Asia at age 22, or an unforgettable road trip with your best friends, you don't just enjoy it in the moment. That experience becomes a memory. And for the rest of your life, you get to replay that memory, smile about it, share it with others, and draw inspiration from it. Every single time you mentally revisit that experience, it pays out a memory dividend. Now ask yourself, if you have that exact same experience at age 70 instead of 22, how many years of memory dividends do you get to collect? 40 years versus 10 years. By delaying your adventures, you are robbing yourself of decades of emotional dividends. Perkins categorizes our lives into distinct bucket list windows. Certain activities can only be truly enjoyed during specific physical and mental windows. Surfing massive waves, backpacking across rough terrain, or starting a bold new venture are vastly different experiences at age 30 versus age 80. Most people make the tragic mistake of planning their lives linearly. Learn, earn, retire, die. But life is not linear. It is dynamic. If you want to die with zero, you have to actively map out your life into age brackets and ask yourself, what experiences do I want to have in this decade of my life? And am I sacrificing them today for a financial future I might not even fully enjoy? Recognizing this changes your entire relationship with time, forcing you to stop deferring your happiness to a distant tomorrow.
Let's talk about inheritance. Society tells us that the ultimate noble act is to work yourself to the bone so you can leave a massive inheritance to your children, relatives when you pass away. But Perkins challenges this deeply ingrained cultural norm with a startling question. Why wait until you are dead to give your money away? Think about when your children actually need financial support the most. Is it when they are 60 years old and grieving your loss? Or is it when they are 25, trying to buy their first home, pay off student loans, or invest in their own career and family? If you wait until you die to pass on your wealth, your children receive that money at the exact time in their lives when they likely need it the least. By then, they have already navigated the hardest financial hurdles of their youth without your help. Perkins calls leaving everything behind until the end the fallacy of the dead hand. When you give money to your children or causes you care about while you are still alive, you get to witness the impact of your generosity. You get to see the relief on your child's face when you help them buy a house. You get to share the joy of a vacation you funded for your family. You get to be an active participant in their happiness, rather than a distant figure whose only contribution was a financial payout after death. Perkins suggests calculating when your children will financially benefit the most and timing your giving accordingly. Giving away your surplus while you are still breathing isn't irresponsible. It is the ultimate expression of love, connection, and purposeful resource allocation. By now, you might be thinking, this sounds amazing in theory, but what if I live longer than expected? What if I run out of money? This is the single biggest fear holding people back from applying the Die with Zero philosophy. It is the fear of outliving your wealth, or ending up broke in a cardboard box. Perkins addresses this head-on with data and practical risk management. Dying with zero does not mean spending every last dime recklessly at age 40 and hoping for the best. It means managing risk intelligently, such as utilizing annuities or structured financial instruments that guarantee income for life while consciously drawing down your principal over time. You must plan for your maximum potential lifespan, yes, but you shouldn't hoard funds as if you were going to live forever. The goal is to design a peak life curve where your net worth naturally rises during your high earning years, plateaus, and then systematically declines as you age, hitting absolute zero right around the time your biological journey ends. Overcoming the psychological hurdle of hoarding requires conscious effort. We are evolutionarily wired to hoard resources for survival. But survival is not the same as living. When you realize that every extra dollar you save past your safety threshold is literally a trade-off against a life experience you will never get back, the fear of spending shifts into a healthy fear of wasting your life.
We have journeyed through a radical reimagining of what it means to be wealthy. To die with zero is not an excuse for reckless spending. It is an invitation to intentional living. Think back on everything we've covered today. Money is merely a voucher for experiences, not a score to be won. The fulfillment curve proves that your energy and health decline over time, meaning memories must be collected early to maximize their emotional dividends. Giving while living lets you witness the joy your wealth brings to others, and overcoming the fear of spending allows you to trade invisible numbers on a screen for vibrant, unforgettable chapters of life. Your life is a finite book, and every year is a page turning faster than you think. Don't write a story where the main character spends 80% of their time working for an ending they never truly savored. Start optimizing your experiences, start giving with open hands, and start living with intention today. If this philosophy resonated with you, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Right Mindset for more deep dives into ideas that transform how you live. Thank you for watching, and remember, invest in your life, because you can't take it with you.